How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Daddy Dave, and this is a map tour for a new mod map to Farming Simulator 22 called Delusion. And we're going to start with the description from the mod hub, and it reads: Welcome to Delusion. It is a very hilly map, so challenge yourself and machines. The map is pretty simple but feels spacious thanks to the cell points on the four edges of the map. Fields are medium to large size, so there will be no problem with big machines. The map has 127 fields, including meadows, 3 places to create your farm, biogas plant, sawmill, 4 viable forests, very hilly terrain, AI splines on the dirt roads for your helper to deliver goods straight from the fields. There are mods required for this map, starting with the Amazon D830 pack by Ostry, the New Holland TX32 by Giant Software, Small Vehicle Workshop by Vanquish 081, Dutch Shed Pack by Raff Farmer and DMI 20mm Normandy, Fence Wall and Gate by Mickey Mapper, and Double Rod Mat Fence Pack by Agrar Modding Ost. This map was created by Norblin and is 557.38 megabytes to download. And if we take a look at the map, this is what it looks like. You start up here in the kind of northwest-ish corner of the map, and you start out by owning farmlands number 18 and 42. 18 is a wheat field that is ready to harvest, and 42 is your main farm. Field prices do vary. You start up here in the north where you have a lot of the smaller fields, and you got 43,000 for grass field there, 38,000, pretty good introductory prices, 44,000, 69,000, and then you start making your way to the bigger fields where you got 189,000, got another one here for 200,000, another one a little bit further north, 280. It just gets bigger and bigger and more expensive, 518,000. All the way down here in the south where you got 413,000. You got 318,000, and you got a couple big forestry chunks here worth 349,000. Now you are able to buy all of the map, including this. This is the kind of periphery of the map, and it is $0, so you can get a huge chunk of the map, and that includes a lot of the sell points, actually all the sell points, and some of the factories that are on those sell points, which is really nice. And when we get to going on the tour, you'll see why it's nice going forward. Looking at animals, we do have animals, starting with a chicken pasture. We do have contracts available on this map. No production chains to start out with, and we do have collectibles, 20 of them to be precise. When taking a look at mods specific to this map, there is nothing under the buy menu. If you take a look down here under mods and DLCs, it's just the required mods, not mods specific to this map. But under the build menu, if we take a look, there's nothing under buildings, nothing under productions, nothing under animals, nothing under decorations. But when we finally make it to landscaping, painting, we have several additional paint swatches, which is really nice, quite a few actually. Under trees, we do have, let's see, where is it? Oh, did I miss it? Oh, there it is. We do have the maple tree, which is specific to this map, and then under plants we do have several plants that are specific to this map. Now we do start here at the starting farm, so let's take a look at the starting equipment. We take a look at our owned items under the buy menu. Small tractors, we have the Zador Proxima HS90, harvesters, the New Holland TX32, cars, the Lizard Pickup 2017, trailers, the Welger DK115, the header for the New Holland, plows, the Pottinger Servo 25, cultivators, the Raby EG39, and seeders, the Amazon D830. So not a big starting equipment. So starting to our right, we have our sleep trigger right there. Around this side, we have a repair trigger. Continuing around, our main silo. It's a farm of 400, so 400,000 liters. And chicken pasture right here, room for 30 chickens. And that's it. That is the main farm. You get a little bit of storage right here to start out with, and there's all your equipment just tucked away in here. So it's gonna be kind of a struggle to start out with. Let's go ahead and make our way out, and we will start going around the map. All right. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take a left out of here, followed by another left. And then coming up here, we're going to want to turn right. And then follow this all the way down to the very end of this road here. Woo, yeehaw. And tucked away back here, we have our first sets of interests. There we go. Now directly in front of me, that is our sell point number 1. Continue around the back side over here. We have the lime station directly in front of me, the debris crusher there, and over here we have the livestock market Haut Belleron. And that's another sell point. And now, I'm going to have to backtrack a little ways. Kind of retracing our steps here. Road does get a little bumpy, so be careful. If you're driving around really fast like I am, you might go and send yourself for a tumble. And then continuing on. Continue way down south here. We're just going to keep following this road until it eventually dead ends, or at least splits off. So now we're going to come here and make a right. And then continue to follow this around. All the way back up to here. And then tucked away back here. Right in there is the sell point number 3. Now we got to backtrack again. A lot of these areas, there's kind of one way in, one way out. There's not kind of multiple road networks to get you to the same place. So the description is very accurate in saying that it's a simple design, but it's makes the map feel extremely large because you're having to kind of backtrack over your steps quite often. So now we're gonna continue to follow this road. All the way over here. And then make a right. Now follow this road all the way to the end. Go, and directly in front of me this is the sawmill. This is a production point. You come over here and purchase it for $100,000, and then tuck around this side over here. You have your input right here with the wood saw trigger there. You have your output right here, and your output for your wood chips right over here. So again, we're going to backtrack a little ways. Go down the hill. And coming up here, we're going to make a right. Take this little dirt road around. Continue to follow this between some fields. And as we continue to drive through the fields here, we'll eventually connect up with the main road just ahead of us here. Make a right. Follow this up. This little hill here. We're going to get a fork. We're going to take a right. Now we're going to follow this all the way back here. Okay, so tucked away, whoops. A little too excited there. Tucked away around the backside here. This is cell point number 4. And then over here, to my right, is the animal dealer. Pull in here. Now, if you have pens and pastures already installed in your map, you can come to this location, or using this same icon, can come here and click on this, and you can purchase your animals directly from these locations. Now, if you purchase your animals directly from these locations, be prepared, because you're gonna incur an additional fee. That fee is associated to a delivery fee. What's happening is that the animal dealer is taking the animals from these locations and transporting the animals for you to your pens and pastures. Now, the problem is that for some of the animals, it gets pretty expensive. For an adult cow, it's $100 per cow. Adds up pretty quickly depending on how many animals you're buying. So in order to save that money, what you can do is bring an animal trailer to this location specifically. Bring the animal trailer here, park it here, load into your animal trailer directly, and then deliver the animals for yourself, and you'll save on that money. Again, it adds up pretty quickly. And it can be a leased trailer, owned trailer, doesn't matter. Now over here, hop back in the car, pull a U-ey, and head out. And now, let's go ahead and take a look at the map and see what we've seen up to this point. So, we started here at the main farm. Went all the way around, saw the sleep trigger, the repair trigger, the silo, and the chicken pasture. We then came out, down here, up, and around to here, where we saw cell point number 1, the lime station, debris crusher, and the livestock market, Haut Belleron. Came all the way back down here, down to the south, up and around to here, where we saw cell point number 3. Went back out, down and around this side street here, up to here, where we saw the sawmill. Back up, we came down this little dirt path, up and around, up to here, and then came out to the cell point number 4, then out to the livestock market, Haut Belleron, aka animal dealer. And now we are here. Now, farmland number 133 is the biogas plant. If you want to purchase it, you have to purchase the farmland. It's $630,499. We're going to go ahead and buy that. And you can see now we have the biogas plant, 99 kilowatt right there. We can also come here and open the gate. And it takes a pretty good long time to open these gates. So be prepared to wait. Come in here, And you can see we now have all of our triggers available to us. And it's just a standard biogas plant, or the standard, inputs. We've got our solid inputs here, liquid inputs here, liquid outputs right over here, aka our digestate. Bunker silos right there. A little bit of storage right over here. And now, heading over here, out and around. This is the Cell Point sugar beets. And I'll make a right, head to the north, just a little ways. Up to this intersection, we're going to make a right. And then tucked away in here, we have the Farmers Market Sell Point right there. And over here, we have the Fromage de Lune Cheese Dairy. For $50,000, you can purchase this. And you have your inputs, whoops, right here. And your outputs back here. And now we're going to head back out, do a little bit of backtracking out to here, go straight through, and what we're going to do is we're going to go just a little ways down, pass by a few of these points of interest, and then we'll sweep back and collect, well, not collect, but we will take a look at them all in one fell swoop. So all the way down here is the first of the group. Right here is the supermarket sell point. Continuing on. To my left there is the restaurant sell point. Next to the animal statue right here is the main shop trigger. Right there. And repair trigger just over here. Some helium deer, free of charge. Gas station right there. And then tucked in here, we have the grape processing unit, 80,000 purchase, input here, output here, and then the spinnery, 60,000 purchase, and inputs and outputs right over here. Go ahead and spin back around. Make a left. And now we're going to see the last few points of interest up here in the northeast corner of the map. All the way over here. Follow this around. You can see the facility coming up in the distance. There we go. Now over here, this is the cell point number 2, biomass heating plant right there with a wood cell trigger. And tucked away in here, the last point of interest, this is the cell point potatoes. And that is it. Now it's time to render my opinion, 0 to 5 scale as always. And I'm going to come right out and say I really like this map. The description said, and you know what, I'll go ahead and read it just really quick. Let me find it really fast. It says, this map is pretty simple, but feels spacious thanks to the cell points on the 4 edges of the map. 100% accurate. This is a incredibly simple map, but that's a kind of a good thing. I really actually like that it's kind of straightforward. There's not a whole lot of production points that are on this map, but the fact that it's missing a lot of production points, there are some, but the fact that it's missing some of those production points is fine, simply because you can purchase the entirety of the map. You don't have to go without so much space. Like, look at that. If we couldn't buy this whole periphery, especially for $0, this whole thing would be kind of a bust, in my opinion. But because you can purchase all this, you can clear out some of the wooded areas, and you can really kind of build this area up. You can really make it into something very special. And the fields are really, in some places, very aggressively hilly. So having the right set of equipment is going to be key. It's going to be pivotal, because you're not going to be able to just get away with just small itsy bitsy equipment. You have purchasable areas like this here where you can build up a different farm, or you can just use it as an expansion point to your main farm. Your main farm is not that big, so you really start with the bare bones minimum, and you have to build up from there. That's your farm right there. That's the whole thing. The whole thing. So, again, the fact that you can buy the entirety of the map and really kind of build it up and make it your own is actually really cool, very special. I like that. Or you can, purchase one of these areas, or purchase the periphery, and just set up your home in one of these, just a sleep trigger somewhere in these buildings here, to be able to just kind of use that as a sleeping area. But then the farm is the farm. You can rip out the trailer and go from there, kind of thing. One thing that I really like about this map is that the details that are all around the map. It is almost verging on a kind of Zero Ito map. And what I mean by that is, because there's so many different like placeables just kind of all around the map, it just makes it feel lived in. It makes it feel alive. I do like that you have these kind of separations between main roads, these back kind of 2-track roads. I mean, you got all these different kinds of areas that really kind of define the entirety of the map. The color palette is really nice. There's some of these trees, like I think it's these maple trees that are built into the map as a specific part of the like mod specific to the map. They seem a little bit too bright to me. They seem very like a very much lighter green compared to the rest of the map, so it's kind of jarring to some extent, but it's not enough to be like overly over the top or cartoonish kind of thing. You do get some pops of color, especially when you're on these 2 tracks, but to me, I like that because it kind of makes sense. You're going to get more wildflowers in less traveled areas than you are going to be, on main drags of any given area. So it makes sense to me that you're going to see kind of more wildflowers out here, but it's not enough, again, to make it seem cartoonish. It's just enough to kind of give it that little hint of color, that little hint of the wild, quote unquote, but not enough to just draw you out of the immersion. And it's nice. It's really, really nice. I think that the terrain and the kind of way that the houses are built up on that terrain are very nice, very I don't know, it just has a good feel, a good flow to this map. And again, it's just one of those kind of maps where you get kind of the best of everything. You get that kind of well-shaped and defined map where you've got, predefined fields, predefined borders, but you have the freedom to really go out of what's defined for you and build something that's your own and something that's special. So you almost get that kind of um, arable farming map, but you also get the freedom of a kind of build it yourself, quote unquote, forestry map. You know, kind of a start from scratch map is kind of what I'm getting at there. Again, you can see the colors on this portion of the map are drastically different than the last portion of the map, and we're on this kind of different type of back road. So this is like your dirt road, then you got 2-track roads, and then you have main roads. So it's just a really cool concept. It's really just laid out very nicely, and again, it makes it feel bigger than what you would normally feel with this kind of a map, because of the road network is just kind of, you're going to very specific areas and you only have one way to get in and out. That is just, like I said, just makes it feel larger than what you're going into it with. But yeah, so when everything's said and done, what would I give this map? I would very comfortably give this map, from the 0 to 5 scale, somewhere in the 4 to 4.5 range. Somewhere in there. I really like it. It's very much approaching that 4.5, but I don't want to say definitively 4.5. Yeah, I really like it, and I think that this is a map that, like I said, it has that lived-in feel, and it allows you to really kind of get lost in that immersion, that sense of there's a lot going on, especially because there's all the decorations and placeables around the map, but there's also the kind of ability to just make it your own and make it grow. And what's really nice is that you have the ability, because you can own the periphery that has all the different sell points and all that stuff. You can expand the sell points. You can make those big facilities on the corners of the map especially into something even more special, someplace where you want to kind of grow and expand them into even larger facilities, add sell points. You can, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, plain and simple, this map really can host a whole bunch of different things. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I hope you enjoyed this map tour. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing. That shows you're engaged with this channel, enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day. Take care.